On November 22nd, 1963, JFK, the 35th President of the United States, was assassinated while riding in a presidential motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. This has been one of the biggest conspiracy theories since I can remember, and to me, who killed JFK isn't the conspiracy. It's why was JFK schmilled, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Let's do a real quick history on the very first Kennedys that came to America. Patrick and Bridget Kennedy came here, of course, penniless, hungry, tired, and weak from the Great Famine in Ireland. But Patrick ended up dying shortly after. Let me explain it in my narrator voice. Less than a decade after their marriage in Boston, Patrick's sudden death left Bridget to raise their children single-handedly. Her rise from housemaid to shop owner in the face of rampant poverty and discrimination kept her family intact, allowing her only son PJ to become the first American Kennedy elected to public office, the first of many. That is the mainstream narrative story of the beginning of the Kennedys when they got to this country. However, there are a lot of people and a lot of evidence that the Kennedys were actually bootleggers and had some interesting relationships through friends and through marriage back in Ireland. They're related to the Ancatells, the Baileys, the Booths, the Buckleys, the Collins, the Hatfields, the Humphreys, the Freemans, the James, the Phelps, the Reagans, the Russells, and the Smiths. And there are some names in there that you should recognize, most likely. Let's take just the first family on this list, for example. So the mainstream will tell you that the Ancatells were not very wealthy. They were a prominent family, but they didn't have wealth. But my question is if they had a coat of arms, doesn't that mean they were probably most likely pretty wealthy? I mean, my family doesn't have a coat of arms. Does yours? It's just interesting. I believe that there is so much proof to prove that they definitely have a lot of involvement with the 13 families, and you can prove it. It's also rumored that the Kennedys were bootleggers during Prohibition from their connections back in Ireland. How do we know this? Because there has been many witnesses come out over the years that owned clubs that served Kennedy liquor in it during Prohibition. And where I come from, a witness testimony is enough to put somebody away in a court of law. It's also rumored that the Kennedys were part of the Dalcassians Irish Gaelic clan that became very powerful in Ireland during the 10th century. Now, before you call me a Kennedy hater, stop, because I actually think that the Kennedys that got schmick-schmashinated may have known about the corruption and they were trying to put an end to it. Why do I believe that? I believe that because JFK made so many speeches promising the American people were going to make it to the moon. And ironically, a lot of these speeches were in aquatic language. We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won, and they must. We set sail on this new sea, that we're setting sail on, this new sea, up the sea, that we're about to go to the moon on the sea. They spoke very aquatically about space, which is interesting. But I think that he promised people that we would go to the moon because he believed we could. He tried. They made so many attempts. I mean, look at this. Look at all these attempts. These are failures, 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 failures. Not one thing made it off the launch pad. Now, next, JFK gets assassinated. And look what happens right after his assassination. What do you know? All of a sudden their rockets start getting off the launch pad and zooming around in space, and they make it to the moon. Isn't that astonishing? Now let's fast forward to today. We have Robert F. Kennedy running for president. What I think is pretty crazy, and we should all keep an eye on, is he keeps making requests for security because he's probably scared because of his family history. And they keep denying him. I am not sure how many times, but I know it's over 3 times now Homeland Security has denied RFK security. So let's pay attention to that, everybody, because if my assumption is correct, and the Kennedys, some of them are trying to do the right thing and help out humanity by telling us the truth and shutting down some of these elites, then let's keep an eye on this situation and let's keep these people safe. Let's keep these people safe, because this is crazy now. We are learning the truth. We have so many people coming out on the internet explaining things and sharing the truth. And we need somebody like him with a voice to at least be able to speak. And I'm not saying I'm even voting for a president, because I think it's all nonsense. But I will say that if my theory is correct and this guy does know some truth and is trying to expose it, let's please keep an eye on this situation and keep RFK safe, right? In my opinion, everyone should be safe. Everyone should be safe, even the enemy, in my opinion, because everyone should be loved. Everyone deserves love in this world. And the people that are, loved the least, usually you can see that they're loved the least. So let's try and wake people up in this world with different ideas, different truths, and let's spread the love. This is about love. This earth where we're on is about love and truth. And we're getting there. We're scratching the surface, people like me and many others out there. But I love you all. This is for your entertainment. Hit follow. And on my bio on this, it says my Instagram page. And from there, you can find my website and everything. I don't monetize, just for an FYI. I do this because I love the truth. And I love learning and reading and uncovering secrets. So if you're with me, hit follow. This is for your entertainment. I love you all.